The first. Now, don't get us in trouble with the Masai people, my friend. We just made a peace treaty.
We already signed a peace treaty. It covers everything.
I don't take responsibility for anything happening.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Can everyone hear me clearly?
Yes, Pope.
My name is Idris Bello, the Afropreneur.
Yes.
Harambeans class of 2011, Nigerian from the University of Oxford. So how many folks here have previously witnessed my poetic renditions? So you already know the drill. Away with your high expectations. For no one sets expectations for this Pope. For the rest of you who are new to this alliance, you are honored to stand in the presence of His Eminence, Pope Bello the First of this alliance. A favor you dare not treat with contempt, else you risk excommunication. Finally, if you are allergic to inside jokes and laughter, here's your chance to get out before it is too late. Or else you shall be fed to the lions for next week's breakfast. For I am reliably informed this week is already taken care of. Aloha.
Aloha.
A poem on a piece of paper. Habari ya jioni. Sawa sawa.
Sawa sawa.
Here we are gathered again for the 5th Harambeans Global Summit. The first, third, and fourth were in Franchok with some of you. The second was over dinner with Ukendo and his friends. But now we are gathered here for the Safari edition to transverse the vast plains of the Masai Mara. Amidst a dazzle of zebras and a cunning pack of hyenas, to mine the nuggets of insight within our alliance and enable Harambeans and guilds alike to navigate the challenges in order to seize the opportunities that lay ahead. But as we won our now Kenyan host a year ago, even as we handed over the flags to them in Franchok, once you let us in, we never truly leave again. We are handing over our dreams to you. The great migration has started. And just like the original Harambe, the Indians brought to Kenya in the 19th century by the British to lay the tracks for the Kenyan railways, and who have since refused to go back home. We are the new Harambe, here to lay the digital rails for Africa's future. But unlike the Indian engineers easily devoured by the lions, we here are no animals of prey, and we prefer to watch the lions do their thing from the safety of our trucks. Just like the Africans gathered at the Cape 400 years ago, when Ukendo's people were pushed off the continent. Yesterday we gathered at the Emin's Way Hotel in Nairobi to depart willingly this time and not in chains to this great destination of the Masai. At the Emin's Way, I met Captain Chris Kariuki, who introduced himself as a retired driver. And in case you were wondering what kind of driver gets to sit at Harambean gatherings, he told Tesh Mbabo and I the story of how he was once ignored in a gathering just because he told them he was a driver. Until they found that he drives the big things in the air, 787 Dreamliners. And then everyone couldn't get enough of him. I guess that's why in this alliance, we don't ask what do you do. Instead we ask what is your passion. Just before we departed for our safari, the chairman sounded notes of warning for those intending to take selfies with Simba. Listen to your guides and don't wander off alone singing Hakuna Matata. Else, all that may be left of you may be your matako. I am sure the Kenyans can do the interpretation.
Yeah, we can.
And while we usually have a policy of no Harambeans left behind, we will gladly change that policy if Simba is after your fleshy behinds. And while Isaac Denver may have won many MMA draws under 28 seconds, a draw with Simba to rescue an Harambean is nowhere to be found in his contract. Anyways, yesterday we departed the Hemingways, happy zebras and ostriches, Harambeans on the safari. I could barely recognize this new era of Harambeans. This alliance of Duduke at 30,000 feet above sea level, flying on Harambean Airlines, served fresh grapes by our own chairman, who doubled as a fake captain, and warned us that even though this was our airline, if your bags get lost, it is really Kenya Airways. As guard member Derek did indeed find out when he was temporarily separated from his bags. We landed in Masai land, welcomed by the landowners, as Okendo tried to outjump the Masai. And it is anyone's guess how long before a Masai becomes an Harambean, as Denver from Farcheck can attest. Leisure drive around the park, many zebras, but barely an ostrich seen. And after the first glimpse of lazy Simba and his friends, it was sunset at full moon. Yes, we saw Simba, but did Simba see us? Today, we all woke up willing accessories to murder. As we watched Simba and his gang devour mother and baby giraffe, in contradiction of the 6th commandment, thou shalt not kill. A planned kill according to Okendo. And even though Matthew Henschel said he had lost his appetite for breakfast thereafter, he was first in line at breakfast for second serving of eggs and a second serving of sausages. Fair weather giraffe friends. And in the same WhatsApp group is Mina Shahid of Numida, the Egyptian in East Africa. Akwaba to Kwame Dakwa from Ghana. Where is he? Here. Who thinks they are Masai in Ghana? Well, he is Ghanaian and no stranger to cultural appropriation. Decades later, still trying to claim Jollof from the Nigerians. He should just focus on his work, extending connectivity to the unconnected. Now there are 4 VCs on this safari. Mike, where are you? Motoni, Maya. It is VC winter, so there are no more unicorns to be hunted. And now all they have are zebras and gazelles. So I see the M&Ms, Mutoni, Maya, and Mike. Let me start with Mutoni. Where are you, Mutoni? Who is not yet an Harambean, having not been to Bretton Woods, yet started life with us on the safari. I guess all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. And you could hear a loud laughter all evening as she pretended to swim in the pool. And she asked Tesh what had happened to the giraffe remnants, as if she expected this Pope to do the resurrection. You don't pay me enough. And Mike and Maya almost had my neck broken last night, posting for a photo with you too. And I laughed when Maria K. Esselman, the photographer, asked if Maya can show an attitude in her photos. But what is Maya but attitude in flesh and blood? The fashionista investor who can't hide the loud Nigerian in her when she's on stage. And Mike Mumpy, who met Okendo on a rooftop at the Vatican, and now feels guilty for scheduling not 1 but 2 massages. My guy even missed Simba's sunrise meal for a massage. We kicked off the day with His Eminence, ringing the Bello bell. Past summits have always begun with the chairman's run at sunrise. But even Okendo, the bold one, they are not one on the Masai plains. For Simba does not speak Italian, and cares not if you know Obama. Instead, we had Matthew Henschel, my roommate, getting up at 5 a.m. to run 8 miles back and forth on the balcony of Tent 8. From the beginning of this decade, when Okendo forced us into ill-fitting suits, I see that even he and the dream team now dress in designer robes. My people, change is here. So today, we swapped our white mafia attires for khakis, and thus emerged a range of khaki attires: Ranger khakis, Jay-Z khakis, even jailhouse khakis. But no one had khakis. Our elders say a child that washes his hands shall be opportune to die with kings. So let me start with the one ancestor in the room, Siku, where are you? Siku Kimera of the inaugural Harambe class, who reminds us of what it was like in the beginning. For she was there on April 19, 2008, in the shadows of Bretton Woods, and tells us that it is only when the night is so dark that you can notice the light. Sons and daughters of Africa, on the search for the soul of Africa, idealistic and optimistic, clueless and broke. We are happy you are here to see today, for we are the answered prayers of you, our ancestors. Sawasawa Hildamora of Pesisha, who has financed over 400,000 loans across Kenya while raising $14 million. And she hopes to have many more roses running stores across Kenya. Sawubona Spencer Horn of Cloudline, decarbonizing the sky with solar-powered airships. Connecting isolated communities to global supply chains. Hello, Janet Sawiri of the AI Review, who reflects the power of the alliance, snagging millions in Joburg just for being Harambean. Hello, Haiko from Uganda, who has 2 phones for the 2 companies he runs. Yet it takes none to bed so as to get a good sleep. He once lived in a Buddhist temple in New York, yet he only recently discovered meditation. Because his reason for the temple was cheap rent and food. Kiru Muhaya of Fingo, who inspires us to not just be entrepreneurs, but also take over political leadership of our countries, and to beware of the 3 E's as we deal with big companies who seek to embrace, extend, and extinguish. Lots of new faces I see in the audience today. Guild members, I welcome you to this new-looking alliance of ours. Jennifer Brady, where's Jennifer? Jennifer, my home girl from Houston, now calling the shots at the MIT Legatum Institute. To John, where's John? John Chisom, MIT class of 75, board member and trustee at MIT, serial entrepreneur from San Francisco, who has sold companies to Google and Confirm It. Author of Unleash Your Inner Company, here because he met Okendo just last October at the invitation of Mark. And now he returns home with a limp, a takeaway from his successful accent of Kilimanjaro. Hello, Derek Leist of IBM Labs. There's Matthew Crow from Theta, the stablecoins champion. He missed us in South Africa and came looking for us here in the Masai Mara. My sister, Marianne Ochola, where's Marianne? Marianne Ochola of Endeavor, tapping to do care like a maestro. Rosny Marandu of Alan Gray, and Dr. Marcel Reichert of the DLD conference frame, who joined us in Franchok and now in Masai Mara. Then there's Professor Regina Abrami, where's Prof? Host of African Futures, who assures us there's a method to the madness, and tells Maya the young chicken, who feels stressed at 30, just wait until you turn 60. Even though there were technical terms and 4-letter words thrown around by Shiran Ahmad, not to be confused with the technical definition of AI by Derek. The F word was not mentioned once. We only had a G word, government. And while Muthoni may not want a happy ending to the story she related, Professor Abrami assures us once again that Harambeans should not shy away from happy endings. And for those of you with your minds already in the gutter, remember this is Bello, the first and the last. Nicola Galombik of that Harambe, not ours, but she's part of us now as she works with marginalized communities. And there was Miss Nella Dick. Where's Nella? Previously Chief of Staff to the Alliance, now CEO and founder of Legacy Capital. I know the chairman thinks you may be a future First Lady, but I think you have a shot at CNN, telling stories of why lions with babies are okay to kill giraffes with babies. Finding balance where there is none, like they do on CNN. Where's Chris Afolayan? Welcome to Chris Afolayan of the Malls for Africa fame, serial entrepreneur and former Nigerian. Last time he was in Lagos, the dollar was 200 naira to the dollar. I am told today it's approaching 2,000. I think it is time for you to go home. To you all, we say Jambo. And to our Harambean trustees who have shed blood for this alliance, the esteemed Snea Shah, our own Harambean angel, where's Miss Shah? Who also bought Sachin Shah, no relation. Today we all learned that Mr. Shah used to be an addict. Twitter addict, that is. Until she deleted the X app. Mark Webber, producer of Poverty Inc., who alerts us that if Africa was ever to find its mojo, many poverty entrepreneurs in the West would be out of jobs. And there is Matthias. Where's Matthias? The German behind our designs. Excited to know he's now married to Aminata Seidi from Senegal. Aminata of WHO, who's now doing a PhD in London, and wishes us bon appetit after we're done with lunch. And talking about lunch, even as Miss Clinky will led us to the Savannah luncheon with a sonorous rendition, it felt a little bit like the Pied Piper of Hamelin singing Rats Out of Town. And when Denver Isaac tells you to move to the next event, you look at his stature and almost want to ignore him until you remember he's a bantamweight boxing champion. Go Denver. By the way, can the dream team please stand up? Dream team.
Come.
Denver Isaac, I see you and your six-pack. Michael Hasselman and those beautiful shots. Don't forget to take a shot of yourself tonight, looking like a maiden from heaven. But love shares love behind the tripod. I couldn't hold his laughter while doing interviews today. Beatrice and Nimat, Muhammad Riyaz and Wazi, thanks to you all for making this look so easy. I asked you to stand, not to be praised or to seek penance, for feeding this Pope with all this great food, even as we are in the season of Lent. But I say go, and from now on, sin no more.
Thank you, Pope.
As we dine tonight in this Eboma, part of this beautiful Manyata, which after the just signed peace treaty has become the Harambean Masai Maya. For we just had the Masai teach us to jump like the Masai, and we taught you how to dance like the Harambeans. A special note to the married men jumping high tonight. Just remember you can't take the girls with you. As we jump to celebrate the 5th Harambeans Global Summit tonight, and we look forward to departing tomorrow after the hot air balloon safari and the Malaika breakfast. Let us pay heed to the 4 H's for Matthew Henschel of Code for Kids, which reminds us to pay attention to our health, our hearts, our homes, and our hustle. And that to scale, we must learn to take away and not to add. And even as milk and honey has not yet flown down from the Kenyan mountains, nor have the streets of Lagos been paved with gold, we part to meet again, and we would always remember that Harambe is a state of mind, and that together we will check our road and the nature of our battle. Yet in the end, the Africa our generation desires can be won. It exists, it is real, it is possible, it is ours. Thank you.
Yeah. The Pope himself.